Welcome back to Crafty Girls. Today I'm giving this simple Gypsunite book style trinket box a vintage touch, and I think it is ideal for any book lover. So here is the mold that I got. I got it from Temu. It's quite a simple mold. It's got a lid and a base, and it's actually really pretty. It's got pages that are quite defined as well. So I thought I was just going to do a plain light colored color in the Gypsunite. I didn't want it to be dark because I wanted to make it vintage and antique-y. So I just put a little bit of mica powder. Not that the mica powder does very much, but it gives it a little bit of a sheen here and there. And then I just used brown, but it was literally a drop, so that it was just an off-white, because I wasn't going to do the pages in any color. I was leaving the pages and I was just going to decorate the outside of it. So here I am just pouring it into the mold as usual, getting it into the corners, giving it a little bit of a wiggle and a jiggle. I haven't left a lot of this in because I'm sure you've watched a million people pouring their Gypsunite or Gypsunite or any other type of casting material. So I didn't leave much of this in. I just thought I would just show a quick filming of doing the base of the book and the lid. Now the lid has very sharp corners, so I was trying to get all the air bubbles out, as many as I could, without jiggling it around too much. I was pushing it. You can see the air bubbles popping out the sides there. Unfortunately, you will see just now that I did miss some of them. So unfortunately I did fix that afterwards. I just made up some Gypsunite and I just filled in the air bubbles. But there you can see the little spine, the pages. It's actually such a lovely mold. It's actually for somebody quite special. They are avid book readers, and even the picture on it is actually from a book that I often hear her talking about. If anybody does recognize that book, you can always put it down in the comments and I will let you know if you have got it right. But there we can see it's all dry and it's ready to be left for a couple of days just to dry out perfectly. So here I am going to do the lid, which is the front cover of the book. And I thought I would use the temporary tattoos because I hadn't done temporary tattoos on a big item before. So I'm sure everybody knows how to use temporary tattoos. One thing that I have done a couple of times is to forget to take off the backing before I put the water onto the temporary stickers and the temporary tattoos, I should say, and then I end up having to throw it away because it sticks to the actual plastic. So don't be like me. There, I nearly did exactly that, but I remembered just in time to take the backing. Well, it's actually the front, but I call it the backing. It's the plastic part. And then here, as normal, just put water on the back of it, let it soak in, and then you just basically just slide it off. I was just making sure I didn't want it to lift and I didn't want it to bubble, so I was just making sure that it was ready to come off, because I didn't want to pull any of the tattoo off because I didn't have another lid to use if I had made a mistake. So there we have the roses with the thorns, or the thorns with the roses. That's a little bit of a hint of what the book is. Obviously I didn't put the name of the book on, but the lady who it is for knows exactly why I put that design of roses and thorns. Right, so here I just cut out another little blue one just to give something on the side of it, because it looked a bit bare just sitting all by itself. So I decided to put the little blue rose on as well. The temporary tattoos stick really nicely to the gypsunite, because the gypsunite is really, really smooth when it comes out of the molds, and especially also once it is being left for a day or two to dry out properly. They are so nice and smooth that yeah, the temporary tattoos really, really stick nicely. So here I am doing my vintage sort of design, antique sort of idea. I just wanted it to look a little bit used and old and whatever. So I was just going to use my little, the cotton wool pads. They're actually makeup pads. People use them for makeup. I use them for makeup, and I was just dotting it on with the little pad, just going around just to make sure that it looked a little bit antique and vintage, but not going too crazy with it. I didn't want to do the spine at that stage, because the spine I had a different idea for, because a lot of the time the spine of your books are different to the covers. So I was just doing the ridge underneath the spine, also with my antiquing colors of the mica powder. It was gold, and then almost like a rose gold, and then I put white, a white shimmery mica powder in there as well, with a little bit of liquid just to make it a bit damp so that it would sponge on with my little cotton wool pad. So here I'm just also filling in on the ridge underneath the pages, and like I said, the pages I left that same color. I didn't change the pages color at all. I just left them with it being an off-white. Right, so there we go. I'm just going to add a little bit more for the inside. I wasn't 100% happy with the inside. I thought it looked a little bit too overdone, but it was fine. I also didn't know whether I should put a little felt bottom in, but again I thought no, leave it like it is, just make it look a little bit antique and vintage. So it's almost like a color wash that I was doing. I didn't want it to be perfect. I just wanted it to almost be a color wash. I would call that a color wash. And here just dotting around in case there was any bits of gold mica powder. And then here I did the same thing, but I was not happy with how I did the inside of the lid. So you'll see just now I decided to change the whole thing. because I wasn't happy with the lid, because the mold also was not level. Obviously, once it was poured, it was a bit lumpy, and I didn't sand it very much. I only sanded it a bit, but I couldn't get all the lumps out. So I changed my mind, and you will see just now what I did with it. But now here I'm doing the spine. The spine in the video you can't really see very well until I paint it, that it's got an intricate little design on it. There you can actually see it now. And I thought I'll do the spine with a gold, and then I used a gold craft paint and not a gold, I'm sorry, a silver craft paint and brown, and I mixed the two together obviously, and that's what I did the spine in. And I don't know if you call that a filigree, the little design that's on there, I can't remember now. But and I tried again. I thought, oh, let me do something with the base of this lid. And again, once I'd done it, I was like, ugh, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So, but I thought, you know what, I'll leave it in, because we all have those sort of things where we go, oh, that might look nice, and then it doesn't. And then we think, okay, we will change it and we'll do something else, and it still doesn't look nice. So I'd left that in. And here I'm just using my gold marker just to go inside the little swirly whirly filigree. I call it filigree. It's probably not anything like that word, but that's what I call it. So it was just the two in the middle of the spine. The one at the top and the bottom was just a single line, so I wasn't going to go around that, because I would end up going outside the line, and I didn't want to mess it up, because I thought the spine was actually looking really good at that stage. So again, these are markers from Temu. I get 95% of my craft items from Temu. I have explained before that we don't have craft shops. Well, not where I stay anyway. In Durban, we don't have very many craft shops. They'll have the odd things, but they don't have a lot of stuff. So I do order from Temu quite a lot, and I tend to get quite a lot of things together in one big order, and then I have a lot of the stuff, like I said, 95% of the stuff I get from Temu, and I find their stuff really good. Some people complain about it. I've never had a problem. So here I decided that is what I'm going to do. So I got some craft foam. It's got a slight whitey-ish glittery finish to it, and I'm just using some No More Nails so that I could glue it on. I made sure I went right to the edges so that it doesn't start lifting, and there we go. Now here I didn't show this. I did stickers there. You'll see that is the name of her Instagram page, Pages with Teastains. I just printed those out on I cut them out on my silhouette cutter, and I stuck them on, and then I did 3 coats of the aerosol clear lacquer, and it came out beautifully. I really was happy with it, and now I'm just putting a base on. This is a set of little feet that you can put on your trays, and it comes in a pack. It's got circles, different size circles, and it's got some nice big sections that you can cut out. So I made a little template, and I made sure that it fitted nicely, and they have sticky bottoms on them as well. So here I was just rounding the edges so that it wasn't so noticeable when you stuck it on and had a look from the side. So here, putting them on, making sure it's nicely stuck down. And there it is. Pages with Teastains. I hope she really likes her book Trinket box. And I think I captured a half decent vintage effect. I love how the copper goldy shimmer gives it that timeless feel. If you enjoyed this project, please comment down below and let me know what you think of it. Also, guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe and share for more handmade creations from CraftyGirlzSA. And so until next time, have a great one.